A lot of people tell me they hate painting, and honestly, I understand why. It feels overwhelming, it gets messy, and by the end of the day, your back and shoulders remind you that you're not a kid anymore. And here's the truth. Most frustration doesn't come from painting itself. It comes from poor preparation and using the wrong tools. Now, let me say this clearly. This video is not for professional painters. This is for homeowners and DIYers who want their walls painted, but maybe hiring a professional costs more than you want to spend, or you're on a 2 or 3 month waiting list just to get on somebody's schedule. So we're going to walk through this together. We'll use tools and techniques that make this easier on your body, safer, and more controlled. So this isn't a time of agony, but a little effort with an outcome you'll actually enjoy with great results. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is to get some room to work. If you can remove furniture completely, that's great. If not, we're not lifting heavy pieces and hurting our backs. We're using these sliders. If you have carpet, use the hard plastic sliders designed for carpet. And if you've got hardwood or solid floors, use the felt bottom sliders made for smooth surfaces. Don't try lifting up furniture and hurting yourself. Just tilt the furniture slightly, slide the pad underneath it, and gently push. No heavy lifting, no dragging, no scratched floors. Let's keep this organized. Pick one area, usually the center of the room, and stack everything neatly there. Don't scatter furniture throughout the whole house, just keep it contained. Here's a quick tip. Before you remove pictures or shelves, take a quick photo of the wall with your phone. This will help guide you when you're putting everything back. Now that everything's together, let's protect it. So we need to cover it because mistakes happen like paint drips, and we don't want extra work or have anything ruined. And here's something practical. If you're going to hang those pictures back in the exact same place, don't fill those nail holes. There's no reason to fix something you're about to reuse. Now that we have the room to work, let's take care of the floors. I like using canvas drop cloths, but if you don't have any, you can also use old sheets. They stay in place better than thin plastic. But for extra protection, I like putting the plastic down first underneath the tarp or the sheet. And then smooth out all the wrinkles so you're not tripping while you're working. And keep the same side of the drop cloth facing up the entire project. That's another reason I like putting down the plastic in case you flip the canvas tarp or the sheet on the wrong side and it has paint on it. You don't want to get it on the floor or the carpet. Now let's remove the outlet and switch plates. Don't paint around them. It takes just a few minutes and makes the final result look clean and intentional. You can use a regular screwdriver, or if you have an electrician screwdriver like this one, it's faster and it's easier on your wrist. Look how you can remove this screw with one hand. Now put the screws back in the outlet slightly so you don't lose them, or just keep them in a Ziploc bag and don't forget where you put it. If you want to see the exact tools that I'm using, they're linked down below. And if you're watching on TV, scan the QR code right here and you'll find everything in the As Seen in My Video category in my Amazon storefront. Now we need to clean the surface. Grease, dirt, and dust can cause problems with paint. If you paint over grease or dirt, often the paint won't adhere to the wall properly or it'll peel later. So take a bucket of warm water and add a squirt or so of Dawn or your favorite grease cutting dish soap. And mix it thoroughly. Then you can wipe down the walls with a damp sponge dipped in the water and soap, or use a sponge on a pole to make it easier, like this one. Don't forget to trim and baseboards while you're at it. Then I like to use a fan or turn on the ceiling fan if you have one and let it completely dry. It's a simple step, but a very important one. Now that the walls are clean, let's slow down for just a second. Before we fix anything, we inspect everything. So turn on the lights, open the blinds, and then take a flashlight and hold it at an angle against the wall. You'll see nail holes, small dents, cracks, maybe old paint drips. And remember this, paint doesn't hide flaws, it highlights them. So we're catching them now so we don't regret it later. For small nail holes, lightweight spackling like this one works just fine. But here's a simple trick. Before filling the hole, gently press in with the handle of a putty knife or a 5-in-1 tool to create a slight dent. If it's too hard on your hands to press, then a small ball-peen hammer like this one makes it easier, especially if you have a lot of holes to fill. And here's a little trick when you're filling the nail holes. Take the spackling and using a putty knife, press it in the hole firmly in one direction, then scrape off the excess going the other direction. That way it won't leave any voids and it'll cover the hole completely. And make sure you let it dry completely before sanding. When it's dry, then rub your hand over it to make sure it's smooth. If you can feel a bump with your hand, you'll see it after you paint. So take your time here. So you're doing good now, so let's continue with this so we're all ready to paint. Once this prep is done, painting becomes much more enjoyable. Now, let's move on to one of the most overlooked steps, and that's lightly sanding the entire wall. Once the patches are all dry, sand them smooth with 220 grit sandpaper. It's not as aggressive on the paint, so just slightly sand the entire wall. We're not trying to remove the paint, we're just knocking down any tiny imperfections and taking the shine off so the new paint bonds better. To make this easier, I like using a round sander and a pole like this one because you're standing upright and you're barely applying any pressure. It's so much easier than trying to use a small sponge sander like these. And here's a little trick you can do. If you can't find 220 grit, maybe all you can find is 150 grit like this, then take it somewhere where there's a concrete pad and just run it back and forth a few times. And it'll make it less aggressive. Now, if you see any areas of missing or cracked caulk along the trim, then apply a fresh bead of caulk and then smooth it out with a damp sponge. It's a small detail, but it makes the finished room look clean and cared for. There's one more thing. If your trim, your baseboards, and your ceiling are in good condition and you simply want a new wall color, you don't have to repaint everything. You can paint just the walls. That alone will cut your time and your cost almost in half. Now step back. The room feels organized and cleaner, and that's before any paint touches the walls. That's what preparation does. You didn't rush it, you did it properly. In the next video, we're going to paint the walls together in a way that feels steady, manageable, and frustration-free. We'll discuss tools, techniques, paint brands, and even finishes. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that so you don't miss it. So thanks for watching, you take care, and God bless.